So first, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liaoming, homage to Master Sakya Zheng Kong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and Master Tupten Dorje. And homage to the three jewels at the Seattle Lijiang Temple. Homage to the main deity of the group practice this evening, Siddhikarbha Bodhisattva with the great bow. Simu, Danzhen Jia Rinpoche, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are Accountant to Buddha School, Dharma Sister Teresa. Producers for the Geni Diansang Shinten from CTI-TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi. And Dr. Ryan Zhuang. A member from the Voices from Heaven Choir, Dharma Sister Erica Chen. And the rep to the council from Taipei City, Dharma Sister Che Huiling. And the daughter of the former council from Kaohsiung City, Dharma Sister Wu Mixin. Good evening, everybody. How do you do? In Cantonese. Today, we practice Siddhikarbha Bodhisattva as the main deity. And as we know, in mainland China, there is the Mount Jiuhua in the Anhui province. And we can say that's Siddhikarbha's Pure Land on earth. Simu has been to Mount Jiuhua, right? She has been to Mount Jiuhua. And Siddhikarbha Bodhisattva, his vow is tremendous, is extremely great. That's why we refer to him as the Bodhisattva with the great vow. There is no other Bodhisattvas like him, that he vowed not to become a Buddha until the hell is empty. Actually, he's the founder of the spirit world, and not only there, we also have the 6 Siddhikarbhas. So he exists in each of the 6 rebirth realms. That's why we have the term 6 Siddhikarbhas. For the heavens, the human realm, the Asura realm, the hungry ghost, animal, hell. They are the 6 realms. Siddhikarbha Bodhisattva exists in each of those realms. And we all know about Siddhigarbha Basic Vow Sutra. We have recited that sutra, that Sakyamuni Buddha went to the Triyatrimsa heaven to give Dharma teaching to his own mother, the Queen Maya. So Sakyamuni Buddha's mother was in the Triyatrimsa heaven. After she gave birth to Sakyamuni Buddha, the Queen Maya raised to the Triyatrimsa heaven. She did not attain Buddhahood, yet stayed in the heaven. So to deliver her, Sakyamuni Buddha went to the Triyatrimsa heaven to teach her about the Siddhigarbha Sutra. So the Siddhigarbhas, all the emanations of Siddhigarbhas gathered at the Triyatrimsa heaven to listen to Sakyamuni Buddha's Dharma teaching. That's the Siddhigarbha Basic Vow Sutra. And Siddhigarbha also has many attendants. And of these attendants, one of them is the attendant with the great power, and that's Mahabala, which is the Vajra with great power, which was the deity for the Dharma invitation ritual today. But in the past lives, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva was also the golden Padma Kumara. So that's why he's Grandmaster's partner or brother. And prior to my descent to the human world, I went to hell. And I met with Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. And Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva told me that you have no protectors in going to the human world. That would not be so good. Then you may encounter a lot of challenges and obstacles and difficulties and hardships. Like what Master Lianji said, that before one wave recedes, another wave is rising. There's just so many hardships and troubles. As one is diminishing, another one is rising. So he said, why don't you bring the attendant with the great power, one of his many attendants, and send him with Grandmaster. So that's why in my right thumb there's the face of a human face. Two eyes, very long eyes, and a nose, high nose, and a huge mouth. And extended eyebrows. There's a human form on my right thumb. So he was temporarily residing in my right thumb. I heard one night Mahabala flew out of my mouth. I wasn't invoking him because I set protection around my room with 4 akalas. And all of a sudden, I was suddenly awoken. And in my life, that rarely happened. And my eyes opened, and my mouth opened, and Mahabala flew from my mouth. That's my personal experience. It never happened in this life before. So there were 4 akalas, and they fought with all the ghosts for about 20 minutes. And then it was silent. So for 20 minutes, it was like a battle. And it was noises all over the place, like in the whole room, in my whole bedroom and all other rooms. And I was hiding inside a bright light net, a net of bright light. And Mahabala came out from my mouth. And then the person that sent all those ghosts said, you know, Grandmaster's Mahabala is on his thumb. How could it come out from his mouth? It's actually very simple. He can come out from the thumb, or also from my mouth, or even from my eyes, or my ears, or from my nostrils, from my navel. Anywhere is fine, because Mahabala is inside my body, because he and I are inseparable and indistinguishable. So he's in my body, so he can come out from anywhere. Like even when you take the bus, like you're united with the public bus, and there are a front door, center door, and back door of the bus, and you can exit from any door. As long as there is a door, you can exit from it. You don't have to come out from a certain place. Like Mahabala is on my right thumb. So did you mean that my thumb has to fly and to do errands? Of course not. So all the same, he can exit from any openings of my body. Anyone can think of this. But from X, they didn't think this way. And she thought that Mahabala is on the right thumb, so he should fly out from the thumb. And after he's flying out, Mahabala is not on my thumb anymore. No, that's not the case, because they have myriads emanations. The same with Mahabala, there are myriad emanations. So if there were 1,000 ghosts coming, then Mahabala can emanate himself to become 1,000 of them. To fight with them. So I have no hair on my head, but like the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, he could just pluck a hair, and by blowing a breath on it, then there would be hundreds and thousands of Monkey Kings. So that's the out-of-body emanations. That's incredible. So that left us vivid impression. So all the ghost soldiers and ghost generals all wiped out completely. That they were like a river of blood, and screeching and crying out and escaping, running, and ever since they do not dare to come anymore. So this envoy with great power sent by Siddhikapa Bodhisattva was a protector for Grandmaster, one of his many envoys. And at the critical or crucial moment that he would appear, like when I suffer from great calamity, he would also appear. So that's how his existence is, and I'm truly grateful to Siddhikapa Bodhisattva. And Siddhikapa Bodhisattva has the greatest vow. He doesn't become a Buddha. How can the hell become empty? The hell will never be empty. So Siddhikapa Bodhisattva has an extremely great vow. He vowed to become a Buddha only after the hell is empty. He's one of the 8 great Bodhisattvas: Guan Yin, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, Vajrapani Bodhisattva, Viskambi Bodhisattva. And he's one of the 8 great Bodhisattvas. He's a truly great Bodhisattva with the great vow. Some people specialize in chanting Siddhikapa Bodhisattva's name. In Jiayi, Taiwan, there is the Siddhikapa like center that specially enshrines Siddhikapa Bodhisattva. So he has his own special temple. They exist. Now we will talk about Lamdre. The first of the 7 parts of the common path of rebirth and nirvana is the 3 divisions of appearances, which is divided into impure appearances, sense appearances, and pure appearances, which appear due to their different positions. One is impure appearances. Though we often practice the impure visualization or the visualization of impurities, you view yourself like we would have dandruff in our hair. Like if you don't wash your hair for a few days, there would be some foul smell and dandruff. So just the hair is quite dirty. And for the eyes, there would be some tears and some eye goo. And there's also mucus from the nose, and also there's some stuff from the ears. And in Tantrayana, saliva has great function. However, if saliva is exposed to air for a few minutes, then it would start to be germ infected and would have foul smell. And our human bodies, and you think that you can bathe and you will be clean, or you wear the chanting beads, And then when you go to the toilets, you have to take out your chanting beads because the toilets are dirty. People would think that way. And we take care of our excretion in the toilets. Pee and poo are dirty, so you take out your chanting beads before you go to the toilets, and then after coming out from the toilets, you wash your hands, and then you wear it again. And you think that way you would be clean, but you know the chanting beads are close to your colons, and you know what's inside the colons? It's the poo. So inside your tummy, there are already a lot of dirty stuff. So human body is not clean. You know, your pee is the same. Like in this hot weather, if you pee in the toilet and you don't flush it, and then you can smell it a few days later, just for the pee, the whole house would be smelly. Moreover, the poo, you often have to check your own poo. That after you excrete, you want to check on your own poo. You know, the color and the smell. If it smells bad, that means your intestines have some problem. You know, typically it's kind of between good and bad smell. So you have to check the color and the consistency. So it cannot be constipation, cannot be like diarrhea. So it has to be like a long, firm form. So you need to observe to check on your own intestines. If you have constipation, then there would be toxic stuff that is absorbed by the intestines. Or if your stomach doesn't digest completely, and then it accumulates and you would generate a foul air or gas. Or some people would have the GERD, the gastric, the reverse. So all of us have some supernatural power that we can transform fragrant food, and then no matter how fragrant it is, then it becomes really foul when it's leaving the body. So do you believe that? Yes. After a few hours, then it becomes something foul coming out from your body. And water, after a few hours, would become pee. So for the heart, liver, kidney, lungs, and all the organs, before you die, maybe you're not so smelly, but if you die, especially in America, say inside an apartment, and people usually don't know each other between neighbors, so people only when they smell the foul, like water coming out from the dead person, that the neighbor would notice, and then the medical team or the inspector would come to check, and that smell can make people nauseous or vomit all over the floor even. And what they vomit is also something dirty. So human body is really not clean or impure. But this impure here is not about the body, it's about your thoughts inside your brain. When can your mind or your thoughts be clean and cool? Never. Especially here, we have so many gossips, masters gossips, people that loves to talk about gossips. Because you think about those gossips, that's why you talk about it. That there are no good words coming out from you. They're all about gossips. So when is your brain clean? Never. Has it ever been clean? No, it's always so dirty. So the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, and the body and the consciousness, none of them are clean or pure. But after you start your Buddhist studies, you start to have some spiritual experiences or sensations or senses. Talking about impurity first. Lian Hua Chun Hui wrote, the first sentence she wrote, if all I said is untrue, I am willing to fall into the Vajra hell. Right? Yes. Lian Hua Chun Hui was close attendant and also on the board of the chapter there. And she had been attending to acts for a long time. And she said that acts always reprimands everybody. Her own monks and nuns, her own directors of the board, and all the true Buddha school masters have been reprimanded by her. Or many of them. And she also reprimanded her own reference and also reference outside her chapter and many chapters and temples and also Simu and even Grandmaster, right? Yes. She does not reprimand only two things. One is herself and her children. And then else she reprimanded everybody else. So, do you think that her thoughts and speech are pure? No, of course not. So this is called the impure appearances. And Grandmaster does not reprimand anybody except X, only X. Because I have to, otherwise she will not realize. Otherwise, the sentient beings of samsara and each of their thoughts are sinful, and especially the stubborn and very hard beings, that's X, because she made the claim that if you never admit it, then you're never wrong. So that's why we would say at this kind of stage that would be impure because it's very obstinate. And words through the grapevine, in 1999, there was a woman, a lady who's pregnant, and X pointed to the pregnant woman that the baby, and they already know it's a girl baby inside your womb, is your enemy of 3 lifetimes, so you have to abort the baby. Because at that time, they really believe in her. You know, you have to, because that's like the great enemy of 3 lives. In 1999, so X asked her to abort the baby. And then in 2012, she said that this woman has an attached baby spirit with her. And X said if this baby spirit had been born, that she would bring prosperity and nobility to the family. It's an extremely wonderful girl. And hearing that, so in 2012, the baby spirit is about 13 years old. So X had forgotten what she said earlier. Instead, she said that had the baby spirit been born, then you would have gained huge prosperity and nobility. And the woman told X, you know, the one who asked me to abort her is you. And now you said this. Don't you remember in 1999 you asked me to abort the baby? And yet now you said that this baby spirit will give us lots of prosperities and nobility. And before you said that she's my great enemy from 3 lifetimes. And she didn't say anything, and then she closed her mouth and didn't say anything, didn't dare to say anything. So see, so she had harmed and killed the baby. And do you think about it, how many babies have you killed? And you have asked someone pregnant, 8 months pregnant, to abort the baby. From the Lu-Ling chapter, the fellow disciples said, but no. And how many babies have you asked to be aborted? Has Grandmaster ever tell anyone to abort the baby? And the doctor says that the baby will be born with like a soft bones, like with no bones. Like that's the doctor's diagnosis, or mentally retarded. And then they come to me for spiritual consultation, whether they should abort it, and I said, I cannot tell you. You just discuss it with the doctor. Please don't calm Grandmaster, because Grandmaster never dares to ask anybody to abort a baby, a fetus. But she had, and think about it yourself, how many? In 1999, she told the mother that the baby was the enemy of 3 lifetimes, and in 2012, she told the same lady that the baby spirit would have given prosperity and nobility, so she had forgotten. You should never do that because you have violated the precept not to kill. Absolutely disallowed. So, and the sense appearances. What is the senses? Like in your meditation, sometimes you would become a huge mountain. Your body is very strong and firm, like a mountain. That's the transformation of the earth. And if you feel like you're flying to the sky, that's the transformation of the wind. Or in meditation, you feel warm all over. That's the transformation of fire. Or if you feel nice and cool, like the cool water entering into your body, your whole body becoming cool. That's the transformation of water. That's the sense appearances. So in meditation, you would feel that. Or there's a spirit entering into you, and you would feel it. Or a spirit leaving you, you would also feel it. That's the transformation between external and internal you. I personally have this feeling, as soon as I enter into meditation, there would be the Dharma flow from the sky entering into your whole body and eradicating the whole, the karma from your whole body. That's a very wonderful sensation or senses. So the Dharma flow from the sky, this kind of sense is very wonderful. Or sometimes you feel your body is dirty or impure, and when the Dharma flow enters into you, and then you would feel that your body becomes cleansed and becomes pure. So this is called the sense appearance. So how about X? What kind of senses does she have? In 2013, she was performing fire offering, and the disciples, the fellow disciples offered hatha, and as they were making offering to her, she would say that the guidance from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and of course what she claimed to be Buddhas and Bodhisattvas were not Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, instead they were ghosts. Starting 2013, she would give advice to everyone making hatha offering, like what the Bodhisattvas should ask you to do, what the Bodhisattva asks you to do. And one time, she told a couple of parents, and of course she said, the Bodhisattva said, actually it was the ghost said, that within 3 months, both of you and your child would die. All of you would die. And that person asked her, how would we die? In a car accident. And the 3 of them went home, and ever since they decided never to ride in the same car. Because we believe in X, strongly believe in X, because X said that they would die within 3 months, so they would ride in different car. But sometimes they forgot and they rode in the same car. But 3 months passed and nothing happened. So let me ask you, did the Bodhisattva lie or you lied? So Bodhisattva descended on your body and told you or told them? Or did the Bodhisattva tell you in your ears that the whole family would die within 3 months? And what would happen if they don't die? And of course you can explain, because I knew that the 3 of you would die within 3 months, so I practiced specially for you to save you. So if you want to save them by practicing, there's no need to tell them. So that you can just practice and save them, then that would be your merit. Why did you want to say it? And people would be suspicious of what you said then. Suspicious of you. So that's the problem. There's a problem. So what is your sense, your feeling? Where did it come? The Bodhisattva descend on your body and telling you, I believe you don't have such ability. Or did the ghost tell you, and then you said it yourself? But I believe that you have no such ability. You don't have this ability. But I can hear the ghost talk. And I also know when the Bodhisattva gives guidance. But in my opinion, you just have like an instinct, and then you just say it. But your instinct may not be right. And actually, many of your instincts have been wrong. Many of them have been wrong. You have told several families that will die completely, but it didn't happen. And then the one that gave a witness, the director of the Yen chapter in Perth, Australia, was also told that the director and the wife will die, but they have lived for 3 to 4 years and they haven't died, and that they would die within a certain period of time. And also Professor Wang Jingxian, that within 1 year, that the Reverend Lien Ying will die first, and then his mom, and then the professor will die. But they didn't die. Not like what you said. If they didn't follow her instruction that so and so will die and so will die, but actually it didn't happen. And you also said that Tutan City would suffer from huge calamity in July 2016. Was it 2016? July. That he would suffer from great calamity, but it didn't happen. Nothing happened. And Tutan City was too embarrassed to say. And I said, please tell me. And then he said that in July, she said that I would suffer from great calamity. But July has passed, so did it happen? No. So you were just bragging and lying, or was it from your instinct? What kind of sense that you experienced? They were all wrong. So how could you say all those? Okay, one more thing. I want to ask you how you experience your sensations or perceptions. A young man was dating for a long time with a Japanese lady, and they were talking about the marriage, and they went for consultation with X. How is our marriage destiny? And X said, horrible, really bad. And they really believed in X. Oh, the mother was the one that asked. And she told the son, please don't get together with this Japanese lady. Just break it up. And sure enough, they broke up. And then later on, she asked X again. So how about his marriage? Affinity. I mean, oh, don't worry. There are six potential spouse. 6 of them, and it's getting better and better. So isn't that nice? So if you can have 6, that would be nice, right? And you have 6 wives from Monday to Saturday, and you rest on Sunday. So the mom was really happy because there are 6. After you break up with the Japanese lady, there are 6 more ladies that are potential marriage partner. The son's name is Sheng-Yen. Yen is like the spring, and Sheng like holy person. That's his son's name. And then a year passed. No potential wife. 2 years, no potential wife. 3 years passed, still no potential wife. 4 years, still none. And the mom started to get anxious, and the son too. And they went to X again. And X said, oh, you have to pray for them. So, who you should pray to? To X? Or to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas at the X temple? Or to the X hall? So she said, you have to pray for it. So the mom told the son, oh, you have to pray for it before you have it. And the son beat on the pillow, trying to beat on X. What a joke. A nice Japanese girlfriend that we were about to get married, and you broke it up, and now no potential marriage at all. So I like to ask you, how did you come up with such advice or consultation? How did you consult spiritually? How come it's so inaccurate? Was it, were you told by the ghost inside your heart? It's enough to talk about these 3 things about you. Killing is really horrendous. It's really a bad thing. And what is the pure appearances? When you can eliminate all the bad thoughts, that's the pure appearances. You have no greed toward anything. And you have no anger. You don't have any temper. And you have no foolishness or ignorance or delusions. Everything comes from greed. Why are you angry? Because you don't get what you wish for. And you don't get what you want. So you get angry. Why are you deluded? Because you don't understand the Buddhist concepts. So you're deluded. You're a fool. when you don't understand the concepts of the Buddha. Because the Buddha said that in the world there are nothing to gain. There is nothing that can be gained. Everything is illusory. It's just like in a dream. But because you're ignorant, you want to get something, you want to gain something, and because when you don't get it, you become angry. Or because you want something, then that's greed. Grandmaster would never want money or things from anyone. Please be rest assured. Coming here, I would never tell you that in the past life you owe me $10,000 or whatever, you have to pay me. Golden Mother told me. I just blame it on Golden Mother. I just pass the responsibility to Golden Mother. Or you owe me X amount, and if you don't repay me, then you would suffer from calamity. No, you can't do that. You should never ask for money. I never ask for watches or rings or gold or anything. Never, never ask for those. Coming here, everything is voluntary. However much you want to give is fine. If you're willing to, that's good. If you don't, that's okay too. And that's his joke. Today, I test for the driving test, and I prepare red envelope. And as I get on the car, I give it to the examiner. And sure enough, the examiner let him pass everything. Wow. You know, actually inside the red envelope, there's nothing except a note. And written on it is thank you. As he got on the car, he gave the examiner a red envelope. And the examiner didn't dare to take it with his hand, and he just said, well, just place it here on the seat. Those from Indonesia would know, under the table. Just bribery. Then things would be taken care of also in the Philippines. When I was in the Philippines, someone was driving, and the police stopped him. And then he rolled down the window and asked, you passed the red light, and let me see the license. And I was seated next to him, and there was no traffic light. But he took out his driver license. Peso. And he placed the Filipinos' currencies. What are they called? Pesos. And then give it to him. And I said, but you didn't hit the traffic, the red light. Why did you give him money? And the policeman just took the money and let him pass. And I asked. And then he replied, because it's snack time. The driver said, it's the snack time for the policeman, you have to give them something. The money. So that's not good, because that's forcing. That's asking, forcing. And of course at X, she also did that a lot. And there was Lianhua Su Chu told someone that Grandmaster on his Dharma throne said, that's only one letter that I wrote. This person had followed X for 30 years. If he had noted everything that he encountered for this past 30 years, only he himself could have written a book about it. 莲花素秋. See how much horrible things she has done. So only this Lian Hua Su Chu and her husband felt extremely upset that by following her for 30 years, it was such a waste.
莲花素秋讲，他那个脸印在他脑海里面，看电视。
Lian Hua Su Chu said that as she was watching TV, her face would appear. Because it left such a strong impression on her already. And she said that she could have written a book about it. And Lian Hua Su Chu would come to the Sakya temple to attend the ceremony, right? Yes, she will come. She had said that she could have written a book by knowing all her filthy stuff. And she's been followed X for 30 years, and she knew all her, knows all about her. Like what Simu said, like how many hair on her behind, she would know. And Simu had been married to me for 35 years. How long? 45 years. Okay.
忘掉。45，他说。
45. And she said, you know, I even know how many hair you have on your behind, because together for 45 years. So we know each other really well. I know Simu really well. Simu knows me really well. Of course, I know what's in her mind. And this person, Lian Hua Su Chu, followed X for 30 years, so she knew her really well. I hope that she would write a few more articles and say a few more things. And the pure appearances and these three kinds of appearances appear to do different positions. So, impure, sense, and pure. So, in your spiritual cultivation, when you reach purity, that would be like arhat. Because arhats have closed all his eyes, nose, ears, tongue, mouth, and mind, body and mind. So he doesn't look, doesn't hear, doesn't talk, but he breathes. So he has no greed. So then he's pure. Once you have no greed about, if you have no greed about anything, then you become pure. Like if Grandmaster is greedy today, then Grandmaster will not dare to say that I don't want money from you here, because I abide by the precepts set by my Guru, the Venerable Mang Liao Ming, or the Ching Tze Tao Zhak, the Taoist Master Ching Tze, the same. That in the future, when you help sentient beings, never ask for money. So I abide by this precept. So I have no greed. So you just make your own offering as you like. Everything is voluntary. Even in my performing Homa or do anything, Homa consultation, I mean Feng Shui consultation or spiritual consultation,
这次要你$3000。
Like, oh, this is a severe matter, so you have to pay $3,000. No.
你包个5块钱，
Even it is a very critical matter, and you offer $5, I'm already pleased. Or two $1 bills, fine. Or $1 bill, or $1 is fine.
我就红纸也可以。
Or even when you say, well, I have no money, just red
皈依也一样，不规定
pocket,
价钱。
that's fine. And there's also no set price for refuge.
我也没有规定价钱。
Even when you Acharya empowerment, I also have no set price.
有一个人灌顶阿 C 的，
Do you know there was one person who received the Acharya empowerment for master, and you know how much
茶叶包一包，
he gave
茶
me?
叶
It's like a tea bag,
你去
one tea
你
bag,
去买
that's
茶
it.
叶，人家也买个1瓶吧，一罐吧，
You know,
一罐吧，或者一
sometimes
盒子吧。
like when you
不是
purchase
欸，
tea,
灌
it
顶
is
阿
like
C 的
a
是
a
盒子
bottle
打开，
or a box,
里面
right?
其中的一条线，
No,
然后带上一包，
but in that box
放在这个
there
红
is
包
just
里面。
like a
灌顶阿 C
thread
也是
and
这
a
样
tea
子，
bag,
一包
and then
茶
placed
他也
inside
明
the
明知道
red
我不能
envelope.
喝茶的，
And he also knew that
因
I
为我
don't
喝
drink
茶我就
tea
睡不着啊。
because I would lose sleep if I drink tea. And he knew.
有没有这回事？就
Did
是
it
有。
happen? Yes.
啊
Someone really
给
did
他灌
that.
顶好了，
And I still
Oh,
confer the 5 Buddha empowerment upon him. And Sarira empowerment, Sarira Pagoda empowerment, the 5
这个灵
Buddha
体灌
empowerment,
顶，
and the Vajrabel and Scepter
灌顶瓶
empowerment,
灌顶，
and then
这
the
种种
empowerment
灌顶
vase
才灌好
empowerment.
了他成为一个阿
And
舍
by conferring all these empowerments, he became an acharya, a master, dharma master.
里面
And all he offered to me
一个
was
茶
a
叶
red
包，
envelope and with a thread and a tea bag.
没有关系，
It's
但是
okay.
我记得很清楚。
But it left a strong impression.
印象最深呐，印象很
So
深
that's
呐，
a very
印象很深。
strong
你看
impression. It's unforgettable
这个上师灌顶居然是
because
一
the
包
master
茶叶
empowerment and a bag of
一
tea.
小包啦，
leaves.
不是
It's
一
not
盒
a
子
big
一盒子
box.
哦，我还心理上还觉
That
得
maybe
蛮
still
舒畅的
okay. That I would be pleased. But that's only one small tea bag
茶叶
with one thread.
但是我还是认为他是上师，
But I still
没有关系，
treated him as a master after the acharya empowerment.
通通
It's
都可
okay.
以。
The
这个就是
master
清净
does
现象
not
你自己不贪了，
concern himself with this. So that's the pure appearances. When you have no greed,
对不对？
then
因
you're
为不
pure.
贪
Isn't
所
that
以
good?
你不贪，你
So
就会刚。
If you have no good, no greed, then you become strong and robust.
你这个人
And
大
even
财
when people point fingers at you, that
对不
you
对？
hoard
你
money,
这个人诈财，
that you trick people for money,
根本就错误啊！
that's
不是给人家
wrong.
随意的，哪里诈你的？
Because for me, everything is
你心所愿
everything is voluntary. It's up to your wishes.
所以这个你就觉得自己很亲近，
So you would
没有
feel
什么过患，
yourself to be pure. You have no transgressions.
觉得坦荡荡，清
You
净
have no wrongdoings, and you live your lives very clearly, with clear conscience
征求人家
and
同意
openly.
绝对这
And
样子，
in anything
我
I
不会
do,
贸
I
然冒
always
失的
ask for your agreement.
啊。
I would
嘴巴
never
讲出来
force
的话，是一个冒失的
myself.
话，不会，我一定先征求你的同意。
Even what I
你
say,
同意的，我
I
才
would
做
never
你不同意，我
say
绝对
anything
不会
against your will. It has to be according to
一
your
生就
will.
是这个样子。
If
所以我
it is against your will, I would
做
never
首
force
先呢
it.
人家
That's
说人
how I
常
am
记
all
得
my life.
你人能
If
够
you
立
can
敌天
become
地之间，才有成
A
果
human being that can stand
你人能
erect
够
between
当
heaven
成一
and
个证人，
earth,
在
then you
圣
have
经
the
里面讲
potential to become a
是
Buddha.
义人，你是一个义
And in
人，
the
有
Bible,
正义的这个义
it's
人，
like you become a person with integrity.
你就有上天堂的可能。
Then it is
你
possible
是
for
一
you
个
to go to
正
heaven.
人君子，你就有成佛的可能。
If you are an
人成
upright
即佛长。
and righteous gentleman,
今天
then
讲到这里，
it
帮忙的
is
观众。
there is the possibility for you to become a Buddha. That's all
非
for
常感
today.
谢
Om
根
Mani
本传
Padme
承
Hum.
上师。